How you doing? This is Marie Cruz, bringing the gap to the rich and the poor, coming from the great state of Texas. And I have Jonathan Green here to talk about how you can actually create a book to get leads. And here he is.
Hey, Mari, thank you so much for having me. Always excited to speak on the great state of Texas. Yes, I'm passionate about using books for lead generation because it's a way to differentiate yourself. So many people, we visit a website, it offers a free gift, and we don't know if it's good or not. But if it's something sold somewhere else or it has some actual value, then we're more likely to be inspired to grab it. We go, oh, I can actually buy this book in the store or get it free here. Well, then I am going to download it because I know it's actually worth something, and I'm more likely to read it or engage with the content.
Exactly. That makes sense. That makes sense. So your process, I mean, I've been looking at your process for a while. You can do this in 2 hours. How do you streamline this? Because I mean, a lot of people think writing a book is difficult, and you have a method in your madness, and that madness works because you have a bunch of case studies. How do we get people to write and have a book in less than a week? I mean, seriously.
So it's really about streamlining the process. We have all these thoughts about how a book is supposed to be written, how long it's supposed to be, and all these barriers because we compare ourselves to authors that spent 2 years writing their book when you don't need to put 2 years into a book. What you need is something that's pretty good and passes the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, that people go, yeah, this is a pretty good book. And what we really want for people to hear is who you are and what you believe in from the book. We're only trying to accomplish that much. We're not trying to change someone's life forever. We're not trying to do a dramatic change because usually, even when we read those books, most people read those books, they never change and they just like it. Everyone likes the 4-hour week. Everyone recommends it, but I've never met anyone who likes that book and only works 4 hours a week. So we meet all these people who like a book but don't live the book. So it's much more important to just focus on getting the audience to like you. So when you're writing a book, using my method, I teach a really simple structure that's 10 chapters. Here's the structure of the 10 chapters, and that gives you a really simple outline. Once you've created your outline, just spend 20 to 30 minutes a day recording it. Just like you do these live streams. It's possible to just talk for an hour or two. It's not that hard when you're not stressed out. When you're sitting in front of the computer with a blank page, yeah, that's scary and intimidating. So I remove that from the process. The two hardest parts of writing are, number one, coming up with an idea from nowhere with no framework and just writing an outline with no strategy. And number two, trying to write a book without the outline done in advance. But when you break it into those two pieces, you follow an outline structure and then you are filling in that outline. Suddenly, instead of writing a book, you're just answering questions, and it really lowers the stress level. It removes all of that pressure that most of us feel to write a book, and instead you're just answering questions or telling your story. And suddenly at the end of the process, you have a really good book that resonates with people and that makes people jump to get on your mailing list.
Wow. And I like that you say speak, because I'm one of those people that go like this. It will take me more than hours, like days, months, to just use two fingers to write something, because I'm not I don't know how to do like this, like people. So speaking isn't it faster too? I mean, do you think? I mean,
yes,
you created this.
Everybody talks faster than they type. Nobody can type consistently at the same speed at which we talk. And a lot of us, even our fast talkers, we talk so fast that we can do a book in 1 hour. But it really is removing as many of the limitations on the process as possible. For some people, yeah, if we type really slow or even we type average, then that becomes the gate on our success. And so I suggest removing that gate. These days, you don't need any expensive software. I've been through every tool, every service. Nowadays, you can get your entire book transcribed for free. There's free software out there. There's like a dozen options that will all do it for you. And you can just record as a video, upload it to YouTube, and they'll transcribe it for you. So you can get the content converted very, very easily, and it's so much faster. And even if there's a ton of mistakes and it's all the grammar's messed up and it doesn't sound the way you want, you still have a super deep outline. Now, instead of trying to write, you're just editing and cleaning up, but you already have the content there. And that's a much easier, because now you don't have the stress of being creative and trying to write at the same time. So getting your content laid down in whichever method or way is the easiest for you is absolutely what I recommend. There's no perfect method. One of the things you'll discover is that every single successful author, they all write a book on how to write books, and they all have a different method. Every author I know Every ghostwriter I know uses a method that's nothing like mine. We're so different, the way we write, the way we structure. And that's important to know because we make these assumptions about how we write a book and they're wrong. The secret is whatever works for you is the method to use. So it's really about what's easiest for you. If you really need to type, that's okay. I'm not against typing. I've written a lot of books by hand. I just find for most people, dictating removes a lot of the stress, a lot of the pressure, and you can do it in an informal environment. You can take your outline, turn it into questions, and then you just have someone read you the questions over dinner or over a glass of wine, and you just answer them and record what you say. That's how I've written several books where I've done an interview book.
So how many books you've written? And I know I think you're a bestseller too.
I'm
so
prolific.
I want you to talk about that so that people know. Yeah.
I've written over 300 books in my career in the last 6 or 7 years. So that's how I got good at this. It's my circle of excellence. The two things I'm best at are outlining books and writing books. I'm very good at ghostwriting. So I've worked with some very high profile clients, and I sat down and said, how can I turn this into a system? How can I turn this into something scalable? Especially because I don't want to do it all the time. At one point, that was one direction my business was going. I was like, I can ghostwrite a book a week. I can do 52 books a year. And now you're really revenue stream, but also a huge amount of effort on my part. And now I work with more than 20 writers on my team when we do books for clients. And also I said, we can make this process something we can push down in an even more simplified version so people can do it themselves. So I do kind of train in two different ways. One is a done with you, where I give you an outline structure. I walk you through it, about a 2-hour phone call. And the other version is an interview, which is a little bit more involved, where we ask a little bit more detailed questions. So each time you kind of go up the tree, you get a more complicated book. There's the version you do yourself. There's one with one of my writers and one with me. But honestly, the one you do yourself, if you just sit down and do it, you can get your book turned out in less than a week, and you have something that's more than good enough to start growing your business.
Yeah, and I think that's key that you said that last thing, because a lot of new people don't have something to give. And that's how you entice people. If you don't have anything, they're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to give? I just started affiliate marketing or digital marketing, whatever business that you're doing online. And having something to give, you either charge or you don't charge. The person decides that. It's very important to actually grow your list faster.
Absolutely. I'm a huge believer in the power of a mailing list. It's the main way I generate revenue. It's the most important part of my business. It's where I put the most attention. And I've tried a wide spectrum of different giveaways, everything from PDFs to audio files to videos to trainings to Facebook groups to books. And they all work in different ways. The value of a book is that it attracts a particular type of person.
Sorry.
People who take a book are more likely to spend money because there's correlations between wealth and people who like books. And it also attracts someone who sees the value in a book. People that don't like to read, don't want to buy courses, aren't likely to see a value in a free book.
No, definitely. Definitely. Sorry, my dog.
That's okay. So
I like that.
Especially for a new marketer, establishing yourself, we often think that the most important thing is demonstrating expertise when it's the least important. 99% of my revenue is from people who like me, not people who think I'm smart. Now, a lot of them, they fall into both categories, but I can tell you that being liked is way more important. We want to follow people that we have rapport with, which means we feel like we're in alignment with them. We see the world in the same way, that they care about us, that they feel affinity for us. That's far more important than to be the smartest person in the world. We don't really care about that. I know a lot of smart people, but I don't buy stuff from them. We buy stuff or buy recommendations from the people we like. So the purpose of your book is to demonstrate basically that you're who you are, who your identity is, what you believe in, and that you're not an idiot. That's the barrier. You don't have to prove you're smart. The line is lower than that. The bar is not an idiot. If you can prove you're not an idiot, you can become very successful in this business. So the thought of, oh no, I have to write a book to show that I'm a genius. You don't. That's really up high here. You don't have to prove that. It's much lower. As long as you don't say anything that's like really, really dumb or really, really wrong in your book, you're fine. And if you do, you can just re-edit the book, fix that mistake, and you have a piece of content that you can keep using. The beauty of modern technology is that you can push an updated version. I just updated my flagship book on all of my platforms because I had it re-edited, and then no one who gets the book from now forward will ever know that there was an earlier version or care. We don't really pay
Wow.
attention to that anymore because we don't do printings. Like in traditional books, yeah, you print 1,000 books at a time. Now it's print on demand. So you can change a book and everyone who gets tomorrow's version doesn't know there was an old version. And it's absolutely fine. And it's just one of the shifts that is amazing about the modern world. So it's really about breaking through that mental barrier that says, I can't write a book. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. There's this idea that we have to be an absolute expert before we can create any content. And then, well, how can you become an expert on building an online business or growing a business if you don't do it? And so you're caught in this catch-22. And that's why a lot of people hit that barrier, and it's all in your head. The truth is, people will follow someone who has good stories and is interesting. I started my entire career writing blog posts about my failures, and people really loved my stories because my failures are always funny. And that's how I started growing my business, by being funny rather than being smart.
Yeah, and people connect with that because we all fail. And people don't want to deal with a genius because they're gonna be like, well, I'm average, so why would I want to deal with this person? Again, it's to connect with your audience on who you are, and they see themselves in your story. Isn't that right? I mean, why people
Yes.
a lot of people like your book or whatever.
People respond more to vulnerability than bragging. So the more you tell stories about things going wrong, about your struggles, about trying something and it not really working, or figuring out who you are or your struggles in your journey, that's what people respond to. The most important part of your book is having a story at the beginning about something that went wrong and how you overcame it, or maybe you didn't and you're still fighting it, but you're in the game. And that's what people will respond to the most. When I started out, I used to write stories about all the bad things that would happen to me and how I didn't give up. People thought the stories were so funny. And the fact that there was another story coming the next day meant I wasn't giving up. That's what they responded to, because they go, what people want is a follow someone who knows what it feels like to be them. We want to learn how to build a business from someone who started with nothing, not someone who inherited. We want to learn how to lose weight from someone who used to be fat. We want to learn how to do yoga from someone who used to not be able to touch their toes. And that journey is actually really important. If you watch any talent show, you know, we've got all those singing shows and dancing shows. They always show you that someone is overcoming adversity. In an ideal episode, you'll see 12 singers who are all underdogs. Somehow we have 12 underdogs and no favorite, because that's what we respond to. So the stories that we think are the most embarrassing or the toughest to tell, or that no one respects us if they hear them, they're actually the ones that generate the most audience connection, because they go, this person knows what it feels like to me. This person knows what it's like to fail. This person knows what it's like to struggle. Then they feel more comfortable sharing their struggles with you. And some of the emails I get are extremely personal or extremely intense, or really bad things happen to people, and they send them in because I told my personal stories first, and so they feel safe exposing themselves. And that's what you want to create, is an environment where people like, trust, and respect you.
Yeah, yeah. So you concentrate on ebooks, not on physical books, or you do both? Because I
For
always thought it
me,
was ebooks. Yeah.
it's the same thing. Any book I write, I sell on Amazon, I sell on the Google Play Store, I sell in physical bookstores. You can get any one of my books that I give away for free. You can download a PDF or an ebook version. You can buy it and download it straight to your Kindle. You can buy it and download it straight to your your Android phone. You can get a physical paperback edition. You can get a hardback edition for a little bit more, and you can get an audiobook edition. So they're all sold through real major retailers. And that's why it's valuable. If you go, oh, I can pay $25 for the hardback edition or get the content for in exchange for my email address, that feels valuable. Now I'm saying, hey, here's something of actual value. People go, why should I take your book? How do I know your book's valuable? Well, I have 400 5-star reviews for people who paid for it. If people will pay for it and see it as valuable, then you know it's worth far more than these other gifts out there. The problem with an ebook, we often say ebook, and what we mean is a PDF that's 10 or 20 pages with pictures, is that there's no real value. The value we assign to it is just arbitrary. We can go, oh, this is an ebook I'm giving away. It's worth $97. How many people pay $97 for it? None. It's not worth $97. You can't sell things on sale if it's always been on sale. The difference is all of my books are for sale right now in every major bookstore. They're in every bookstore, from Amazon to Kobo to Barnes and Nobles and everything in between. There are all these platforms for real prices, and people are paying for them every single day. That means when I'm giving it away, you know it has real value. And every review I have of it is from someone who paid for it, not someone who got it for free. So you remove that out. The problem is that anybody can say anything is worth anything online. Share a PDF, say this is worth a certain price, but no one knows. Until they give you your email address and get it, they don't know what it's worth. I want to remove as much doubt from the decision-making tree of my potential clients as possible. I don't want someone to go, I wonder if this is valuable. I want them to know and remove that doubt. So then it's a little easier to make that decision. You're not going to get every single person who sees your free gift to give you their email address, but the more things you can prove along the trust ladder on the way to an actual purchase ladder. See, I consider someone giving me their email address a purchase. Email address is valuable. All of us would pay $10 to never receive an email again, right? We would gladly pay to stop receiving the same emails we don't want. So that means our email address has an anchor. There are people who pay for services that are $10 or $20 a month to block unwanted emails. And that's great because that tells me that you see your email is valuable, and so do I. So when I'm asking for someone's email address, I'm trying to make a sale. I'm not just trying to give away the bare minimum. I want someone to go, wow, this seems like a really great value. This is a great deal. So if someone thinks their email address is worth $20 and my free gift is worth $7, they're not going to give me their email address because the value is not there. So I want to have something that feels more valuable, and I want people to actually like the content. I want people to engage with the content. The beauty of putting a book on bookstores and generating reviews is that you have to go through that process to confirm its value, that you have to get actual reviews, you get actual readers, you get actual feedback. It forces you to be honest. If you went to most people's free gift and they go, hey, I'm giving away a book, and you go, great, put it for sale in a bookstore. If they walked into Barnes and Nobles with that printed out as a PDF, they would get thrown out. They go, this isn't a book. Why are you trying to sell this in here? And that forces you to be honest. That forces you to stop calling something a book that's not a book. I've seen someone who gave away a book that was just a 30-page mind map with no words on it. I said, well, first of all, you can't read a mind map. It's all chopped into pages. It's really weird. And it has no value because it's not an actual book. If you tried to sell this in a bookstore, you would get kicked out. So we know what a book is if we try to sell it in a bookstore. The problem is there's this mission creep or definition creep where people call something that they are giving away on their website a book, even though it's not. Maybe they throw the word E in front of it to make an excuse for it not being a book. Ebook just means it's a book that's delivered digitally. It's still supposed to be a book, right? You can't say this is an e-picture and then it's not a picture, right? You can't just send someone like a single pixel and go, this is a picture. And it's not, it's just a pixel, right? So it's important to force yourself to deliver excellence. And one of the values, in addition to what you give the customer, is that when you call something a book and you're going to sell it on real bookstores, it forces you to actually make something good enough to sell in those bookstores. It forces you to put into the contact, to format the text, to actually put all the pages in the correct order, to put chapters in the table of contents. All of that effort will pay off massively because then when someone gets your free gift, they go, oh, this actually is worth it.
Jonathan, I have a question. So all the people that you have helped to create books that didn't have any leads at all, how fast do they build their leads? Because kind of like a case study, so that people don't understand the power of writing a book as a lead magnet.
Yeah, it's day one. So as soon as your book is done, you're going to start getting leads the very first day, even before you upload it to the bookstores, even before you run it through a bestseller process, which we teach in our training. As soon as your book is there, you'll see it. I've done tests on different platforms. I have one of the worst TikTok channels in the world, and I have, I think, 100 subscribers because I'm geotagged in the wrong region. So no matter what I do, my videos don't show in America. And out of 100 subscribers, 44 followers from TikTok joined my mailing list because they wanted the free book. So there's a huge ratio there that you don't see on other platforms and that you get because people go, oh, this is valuable, so I want it. And I can tell you there's also a super high relationship between people who like books and people who spend money online. People don't want a book or don't see a value in a book, they're not going to take the free gift. So you actually are also building authority leads or high quality leads, people that see you in a very particular light and go, this person wrote a book. I like books. People who like books spend money. Yeah. There's been a ton of studies that show that as people's wealth increases, the amount of books or the type of books they read changes. As people get wealthier and wealthier, they read more and more business books and more books that are specific to what they do. There's a really tight correlation there. And that also means those are people who put effort into growing and developing. You don't want to try and work with someone who is not interested in growing and doesn't put any effort in, because even if they buy a course or two from you, they're never going to do anything and they're not going to become a long-term customer. My best customers have been with me for 6 years since I started this version of
Wow.
my business. People that have been with me since 2016, they've been following me since Servmaster first came out, and I want them to succeed. Sometimes people email me and I can look and see what they bought from me, and I go, wow, you bought like 7 courses from me over those years. That's awesome. And I want to engage with them and give them really valuable content, and it's a relationship. So I believe massively in the value of longevity, and that all starts with giving people something that tells them who you are, establishes your authority, and shows that you're willing to be vulnerable and open and honest, because then they feel comfortable being honest with you about their struggles, their challenges, and things that confuse them.
Wow. And it seems like once you write a book and the people connect with you, you actually shorten the bridge between cold traffic to warm traffic. Am I right?
Yeah, the idea of warm traffic is through an introduction. It's someone who already knows who you are. So there's this idea that once someone comes in through cold traffic, they have to spend a certain amount of time getting to know you before they'll make a financial purchase. And that starts with, if you don't think of your email address as a value, then that's that mindset. For me, if you give me your email address, you've already spent money with me. So I have an offer on the next page. I'll say, here's my free book. By the way, if you want something else, maybe you want a video training, maybe you want an audio version, you can get it for anywhere from $7 to $20. I offer something on the next page and I have a really high take rate. Why? Because they've already bought something with their email. So because my mindset's consistent, I don't need to wait a really long time. Now, everyone needs a certain amount of trust or rapport with a person before they'll buy online. So maybe they need to, whatever scale you use, there's not really a measurement of trust, like a trust measurement, but some people, they'll take a free book and they will spend $5,000 on your website and the next day they don't care. There's some people that they only need the smallest amount of proof. Other people, I have someone on my list who was on my list for almost 2 full years before their first purchase, and they bought a multi-$1,000 product. So it's okay. One of my best customers now, actually, he was following me for almost 3 years before he bought anything. And now he spent a significant amount of money. He's building we're doing projects together. He's doing amazing stuff. But some people need a lot more time to cross the bridge, and that's okay. But we want to meet people where they are. So we want to give people value from day one and offers from day one. Every day I don't mail an offer is a day I don't make money. And obviously I don't want to mail, I don't want to be there. And I go through a massive process of what I prove and what I verify and what I share to be sure that it's valuable, so that I don't want to get that sale and then they regret it later. I don't want to get a refund of someone else's product, but people know what they're going to get from me. They know the value. They know there's tons of free content on different channels from me. And then they know which emails from me are commercial and which are not. And it means I don't have to hide anything. I say, this is how I make a living. I'll teach you how to do the exact same thing. Here's why I use this tool. Here's this course I'm going through. I was just promoting a course earlier this month, pushing it hard. Why? Well, guess what? I'm following it. I'm building a product using their exact methodology. I just did my launch this week and it was very successful. So why can I promote something? Easy, because I'm using it. That makes it so much easier. It's very hard to recommend a movie you haven't seen. So when it comes to monetizing your list, start from the place of integrity, which means an email address has value. Well, then it's easy to say, I'm only going to mail things that I use, believe in, or created myself. And suddenly all the things that are scary fall away. I'm not a great emailer. There are some people who are so talented, but my emails get really high open rates, really high click rates, really high sale rates. Why? Because my list knows I like them, and I'm not going to recommend stuff that I don't like or believe in or use. So it really allows you to maintain that consistent chain of effort, and you don't have to write fancy emails. You just have to write honest emails. Most of my emails are about stuff that's happened to me. My arm is hurt right now. Everyone on my list knows about that. Why? Because I wrote an email about it. I said, I can't write a long email because my arm is too hurt to type. So in physical therapy on Friday, she's going to be better. One day later, it's not better yet. So they know it. So anytime I'm hurt or one of my kids are sick or I'm traveling, I just write about that because I know my list is interesting. There are people who open my emails because they want to know what I'm up to. And that's great. I got a message this week, someone who made it to one of my live events, which was amazing. And she said, this is the first email I've opened in 6 months. And it's the email I needed to read. I needed to be at this event. And I was so glad she was there. It was amazing. So sometimes it's just being there the moment people need you the most. And it all starts with giving away something of value, treating an email address like it's valuable, and treating the person at the end of every email address like a person. It's a person, not just an email address. It's not just a lead. It's a human.
Mm-hmm.
Shift to that when you think,
Exactly.
well, what if my mom was on my list? What if my dad was on my list? What if my friend was on my email list? It
Mm-hmm.
changes your behavior because there are things you wouldn't write about to your friends and family that a lot of people would write about to their customers because they don't see them as people in the same way.
Wow. Wow. That was amazing. Well, I bet you're ready to go into your next meeting or whatever. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I can't wait to start promoting your product soon because it's
Well,
happening soon. So,
thank you so much for
do you
having
have
me.
a website? Do you have a website that you can send people before we go?
Absolutely. You can get a copy of my new book, Give to Get, which teaches my methodology of giving at givetogetfree.com. And you can grab a free copy of the book, or you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it at any bookstore you want. If you want a hardback edition, it's in every single store. And it teaches really my belief that a generosity-based business is so much easier than a sales-based business. I never have to worry about sales calls or hard pressure sales because I just give, and that when I do want to promote something, I can promote it softly and I generate a great deal of revenue.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That was amazing. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Say hi
Bye.
to all your family, okay?
Okay, I will.
Take care. Bye. Bye. Have a great week. So that was my friend Jonathan Green. By the way, he is very humble. He is a bestseller. You heard he's done over 600 books. He's a millionaire and he lives on an island in the middle of nowhere near the Philippines. So he's living his life the way he wants it because he has a business and his business is to help people create books. And those of us that are part of Affiliate Triad have a free that course for free because we are part of the biggest and most powerful affiliate marketing membership in online that has the best that is already done for you mostly. So we open in a couple of days. We will be promoting this Lee Foss's training on how to create your book. You can create a book under 2 hours with his method. I don't think that anybody else can do that without his method. So, I've been going through it. I'm almost done with my book. I already did my outline writing my book, and I should be done by a week with my book on struggling with lupus and how I started an online business. Because I'm sick. I know I look great, but I have a lot of health issues. And yesterday was one of my bad days. So, yeah. So go and get the free book, www.givetoget.com. If you want to start an online business that is going to be already, if I handed you a box with a business in a box, you could start like that, and you can already have credibility. You already, even if you don't know anything, that's Affiliate Triad for you. Affiliate Triad is a membership that actually you can earn what you learn. You get free mentors, so you can actually fast track your success. 6 hours of mentorship every week. If you pay for mentors, 6 mentors for a month every week, you pay $1,500 or more. You get the free courses. Why? Because you're part of Affiliate Triad, and to promote a product, you have to recommend a product. That's the main thing we do. We recommend products, okay? Recommend products, and when somebody buys using a link, we get paid. To promote a product, you need to know the product. So we get all those courses for free, including his course, Lee Fawcett's. We also get, what's the other thing? We get done for you campaigns. So you don't need to have a technical know-how because all you have to do is go and say, follow the step-by-step instructions in the paper, in the Google Drive, or step-by-step instructions in the video instructions. You get access to Jason Flatlin and Wilson Matos and all the people in AT, which is 500 affiliates. And you get the best network. I had Jonathan Green is from Affiliate Triad. I would have never been able to get him if I wasn't with Affiliate Triad. Okay. So go and get your book at gift2get.com, gift2get.com. And if you want to start writing your book, that's where you're going to be able to actually connect with Jonathan Green. So it is Sunday, 1:25 p.m. here. I'm in Central Texas. Very proud to be a Texan. And I want you to have a great week. And please, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, and share. I want to hear from you. And this is Marie Cruz, bringing the gap between the rich and the poor, coming for the great state of Texas. Take care. Have a great week.